Hey guys, I know you felt kind of surprised by today's lesson. I don't expect you to have mastered completing the square over the weekend, but the concept of solving for x in the way that you do with completing the square is something that I want you to practice this weekend. So this worksheet helps with that quite a bit. So I'm going to do 1 and 2 for you just to see exactly what that process is. It's pretty standard, but you're going to have to get used to taking square roots. That's the big thing here. So number 1 is asking, what's the solution set of the equation 3x squared equals 48? Now we know that we could just test these values. So we could test -2 and -8, and we could just go ahead and plug them in. We could just say 3 times -2 squared equals 48 and figure it out if that's true or not. But that's not why we're here right now. So we're not going to do that just now. We're going to use completing the square, or the method of solving for x from completing the square. So what you're going to do is you have your 3x squared, and you're just using basic algebra to solve here. Divide by 3 on both sides. So you'll have x squared equals 16. And then this is the part that you aren't used to doing probably. So you take the square root of both sides to get rid of this x squared. That's going to leave you with an x over here. But on this side, you have to remember that the square root of 16 could either be 4 or -4. And that's because -4 times -4 is 16, just like 4 times 4 is 16. So the square root of 16 could either be +4 or -4, so that's where this plus or minus comes from. So the solution set here, since x could be either +4 or -4, ends up being choice 3, which is 4, -4. So either one of those could be your x value. Pretty simple. Again, completing the square, we're going to practice it on Monday, but I want you guys to get used to this process, solving for x by taking the square root and accounting for both the positive and negative solution. Number 3 is the same thing, but it's a word problem. It says we have a student that's asked to solve this equation. The student's solution to the problem starts as this, gets to here, and then they're asking what would be the next thing we would do. Well, if we were at this step, just like in the last question, we would have to get rid of this exponent. And the way that we do that is by taking the square root, so we have to do that to both sides. On this side, we're going to end up with 3x minus 1. And on this side, we're going to end up with not just +5, but also the possibility of having a -5. Now that's all this question is asking for, because if you notice, our choices are just that next step. So we only have to do that one step. So our answer here is going to be choice 1, because that's exactly what we have. But if we wanted to continue this, we would just continue solving for x. We would add 1 to both sides. We'd be left with 3x equals 1 plus or minus 5. And then we would divide by 3. So x could equal either 1 plus 5 over 3 or 1 minus 5 over 3 if we wanted to continue that. So again, I just want you guys to get used to the process of solving for x in that way by taking square roots. You'll do the same thing with 5. Again, I only want you to do the odds. You'll do the same thing with 7. You're finding the zeros. That's just another way of saying let's find the roots algebraically. And number 9 is tricky. It's a word problem. I want you guys to give it your best shot, okay? I think that you guys are going to be all right with this. Don't sweat it. We'll go over all this stuff on Monday. Just do your best, and I'll see you on Monday.